Thank you very much indeed.
Now, many of us take our ability to read and write for granted, don't we? But there are still swathes of adults who struggle with basic literacy.
16% of the adult population in England, anyway, that's 5.2 million people, are classed as functionally illiterate, meaning they struggle to understand unfamiliar text and would fail a GCSE English paper.
A further 1.7 million adults in England have literacy levels below those expected of an 11-year-old. And in a recent survey of adults who struggle with literacy, 60% said poor reading skills had stopped them from getting a job.
That's meant more people signing up to educational classes to help themselves.
I want to be there for my son when he's doing his homework. I want to be able to help him as well.
It's something every mother should be able to do, but for Saba Seth, who left school early after becoming pregnant, not being able to read or write means she's lacking the skills to help her son. By enrolling on an adult education course, she hopes simple tasks will soon become less of a struggle.
You need to calculate, you need to read, you need all that every day. I think it's a good idea to come to adult classes. I think it helped me. In the beginning I was a bit shy and kind of scared, but it was okay.
Well, we're joined now by former Boyzone singer Shane Lynch, who struggled with illiteracy his whole life, and Sue Southwood from Adult Learners Week. We were just so impressed and shocked in a way when we heard about this, because how did you manage to read song lyrics and hide this for so long?
I think the nice thing about being in music, from my point, was repetitiveness. Obviously, you learn something through singing songs. I was never the songwriter in the band anyway, so that wasn't a problem, and for a very obvious reason. You know?
And you were only diagnosed with dyslexia in January.
Yeah, well, I did a programme on dyslexia, or my past rather, and why I couldn't read and write and how I got through the kind of educational side of things from a young kid to now. And I got diagnosed with dyslexia. I went for an assessment, and that's what they said I had.
Was that kind of a relief for you in a way as well, because
funny
you
enough,
do something about it?
Yeah, I mean, amazingly enough, as far as reading and writing is concerned, I would have turned every corner and avoided it in many, many ways. When I got diagnosed, it was such an understanding of my past, and it made sense completely to who I was, what character I had, and how I got through the school system in whatever particular way, which has now kind of transformed my mind into a completely different journey of, now that I'm told I have an issue, I can tackle that issue, not just being afraid of it. So it's been a relief and a big lift and a big weight off the shoulders, without a doubt.
So it is that fear, isn't it, I assume, for those 5 million people who know they've got a problem but manage it so brilliantly in life to hide it from those closest to them?
They do, yeah. I've forgotten my glasses, or I'll take that form home and I'll bring it back later. And
getting the kids to do something for you, read the instructions and so on.
And what Adult Learners Week is about is showing stories like Shane's story, people being diagnosed with dyslexia as adults, people going into education later in life and completely transforming their lives.
What do you say to those people who are a little bit embarrassed, maybe, you know, that they've got this far and they're saying, you know, I should have learnt it at school, now it's too late?
Well, first of all, it's never, ever too late. There's lots of opportunities to improve your maths and your English, up to and including GCSE level if you're an adult. But if that's a big step to take, just tell somebody. Stop hiding it from your friends and family. It's not.
But how do you get through school without it being picked up on? I mean, what happened with you, Shane? Did nobody notice at school?
You generally take on any particular character, which is that a troublemaker, is that a class of the clown, or is that the charmer, or the best sportsman in the school? And I so happen to be a good charmer and a good sportsman, so I kind of was that college kind of jock scenario of, you know, tick the grades off because he's a brilliant player at so-and-so.
Right. Yeah. You've got a little daughter as well, haven't you?
I've got 2 daughters.
The little one, do you read to her?
Only recently now, but when I started kind of doing the bedtime story thing, and she's a fantastic memory, so she would tell me when I was going wrong. I'd make the story up off the page, and she'd say, "Daddy, that's not right." So this is when it started to become an issue. I was like, okay, hold on, I'm getting found out by a 3-year-old here.
Yes.
And that was before the programme I did. So now that I've kind of been diagnosed with dyslexia, it's actually pushed me forward in an amazing frame of mind to actually sit down and concentrate and read the words now, as opposed to thinking, oh, I just can't do it anyway.
Right.
But isn't that amazing that you're such a successful person and yet you still didn't have that confidence until you got diagnosed with dyslexia?
Absolutely.
It shows how powerful
It's a success story, it really is. And thank you both for coming in. Good luck with Adult Learners Week as well.
Thank you.
Great idea.
And still a charmer. Thanks very much.